developments to a Fox 9 investigation of daycare fraud involving millions of tax dollars. The Legislative Auditor's office is now opening an investigation.
An investigative report from our Jeff Ballion set all of this into motion, and he joins us now with the latest on this. Jeff.
Yeah, this is a very significant development. The Office of Legislative Auditor is a nonpartisan watchdog of state government. It will be looking to see the extent of the fraud, how it happened, and how it can be prevented going forward. The Fox 9 investigators discovered what appears to be rampant fraud in the state program that provides millions of dollars to low-income families so they can afford child care. Our reporting is based on multiple government sources with direct knowledge of the schemes. They estimate as much as $100 million a year is being stolen by shady daycare center operators who are overbilling the state.
This is an important issue that has been uncovered by your story. This is of great concern to the public and legislators, and we will respond.
The OLA's office will decide in a few days what the scope of its investigation will be, but most likely it will focus on what went wrong within the Department of Human Services to allow this to happen. 10 daycare centers are currently under active investigation by DHS. Most are owned by Somali immigrants. Our sources in government and in the community say these frauds are very sophisticated, with the centers paying kickbacks to parents who enroll their children. State and federal agents have tracked some of the money being sent overseas, and they believe when it arrives in places like Somalia that some of the cash is likely being skimmed by terrorist groups.
I became very, very concerned.
Scott Stillman is a former DHS computer forensics expert who worked daycare fraud cases. Last year, he sent emails to his supervisors warning them that some of this money was going to countries connected to entities known to fund terrorists.
What I've come to realize is there's some smoke. That's real smoke, and there's some fire.
The chairman of the Senate Human Services Committee is calling for lawmakers to pass legislation now to set up a new state agency to oversee fraud investigations that involve the Department of Human Services and the Department of Health.
It's all about the fraud. It's not Islamophobia, it's fraudophobia.
If that legislation passes, the goal is to have that new oversight agency up and running by July 2019. The investigation by the Legislative Auditor could take months. That office does have the power to subpoena people if need be to get answers.